Thank you guys, jeez. You know, I used to tell my conducting students when I was teaching that if you ever feel yourself getting a big head after a performance, just remember two things. Of all the sounds that happened tonight, one, none of them were invented by you, that was the composer. And two, none of them were actually produced by you, that was the musicians. So while I incredibly appreciate the nice sentiment that you have expressed, it means absolutely nothing without all of you guys, because otherwise it's just me wandering around China waving in silence, you know, and that's not particularly compelling. Although some of the fans were they might have enjoyed that, I guess, I don't know. Look, you know, I've been on a lot of orchestra tours in my life with a good number of different orchestras, including a lot with the Cleveland Orchestra lately. And I'll tell you that one of the interesting things about touring with an orchestra is kind of the trajectory that orchestras tend to take throughout the tour, and it usually goes something like that, where you have good nights and you have not so good nights, and then you're kind of back on top, and then it maybe falls off a little bit. Hopefully you end on a high note. I thought that our performance in Beijing, especially considering the, I'll say, less than desirable acoustic, was really fantastic. I know that I've told you since then that I thought that Tianjin was the best that we had played, and that was true until Shanghai. And then I don't know what happened last night, but it was just unreal. It was so good, and it's the first time I've ever witnessed a series of performances by an orchestra that started so good and just went like that all the way to the end. So, and I'm happy to take whatever little credit that you'll allow for helping you guys to get there. But I didn't make any of that sound. That was you guys. That's you guys. And the reason that it works is because, and this is the lesson to take away from this tour, and this is what I hope you will remember. The reason that it went well is not because there were 75 of us on stage, each doing their own part, but because it was one team that happened to be made up of 75 people. You guys did this together, and you did it for each other. That show last night was just unbelievable. You guys felt it too, right? I mean, surely. You know, certainly the barber and, well, I'm just gonna end up naming all 5 pieces, so I won't name all 5 pieces. You know, I'm very fond of sharing what I think the moral of the story is, because I think that's a big responsibility for us. The moral of the story has nothing to do with Shostakovich or Kilar or Barber or Tchaikovsky or Rouault. It doesn't have anything to do with those pieces, and it doesn't even ultimately, to me, have anything to do with music. Because I asked my high school band director once why she was such a great teacher. I said, what is it that makes you such a great teacher? And she said, because I'm not a music teacher. I'm a teacher, and I happen to teach music. What I hope that you guys have been able to get out of this experience is not just musical experiences, although the musical experiences are great, but the musical experiences are the vehicle, and the real experience is teamwork and working together. I promise you, for the rest of your lives, all the best things that you will accomplish with other people. Nobody accomplishes anything by themselves. Everybody accomplishes things with and for each other. And the more that you can live your lives in a way that you build up other people, they will do the same for you. Because without you guys, I am nothing. And without each other, you all collectively, well, at least you can make some sound. I can't even make a sound anymore. But the moral of the story is to work together and to be a team. And I don't care if it has anything to do with music. It doesn't matter. Music is incidental to the moral of the story. The moral of the story is working together. And I hope that you guys have felt that, and I hope that now that we've put it into words together, that is the message that you'll take away from this. Not just the spectacular performances, and not just the friendships that you've deepened and solidified on this journey. All those things are great, and all those things are important. But what's really important is that lesson that none of us are alone, and that all of us become better when we work together. That's the lesson that I've learned. That's what I'm taking away from this. And I am unbelievably grateful to you guys. Thank you.